Scottails. Oh. Well, hi everyone, and welcome to Scottails. My name is Scott Hostetler, and today we're going to celebrate everything Jane Austen with two easy-to-make Scottails that I'm sure you'll enjoy. We're going to get the drinks from Colleen Mullaney's book called Gin Austen. She has 50 delicious recipes in there where she paired the characteristics of the drink with the characteristics of the character. Now, today we're going to focus on the Pride and the Prejudice, where Elizabeth Bennet is wooed by Mr. Darcy. Now, Jane Bennet asked her sister, "What's the first thing you notice when a man proposes to you?" And then Lizzie said, "Oh, the audacity!" Well, that's because Lizzie was taken aback because she is effervescent and full of life, and that is what this drink is. It's called the Fizzy Miss Lizzie, and it starts with 1 ounce of elderflower liqueur, and we use Saint Germain elderflower. It is the Rolls Royce of elderflower liqueur, and it is just wonderful. Don't accept any substitutes for that. And then it also takes 1 ounce of vodka. We are using a name brand premium vodka. It says premium right on the label. I get it from a little store close to my house. I can't say the name because that would be indiscreet, Costco. And anyway, it is a good quality vodka. Then we also use 2 ounces of Apricot Nectar. Now we're using not fresh. I know I've been preaching fresh fruit, but this works a bit better for this drink. 2 ounces Apricot Nectar. Then we take some ice. And again, fresh ice in freshly washed hands. And we shake. Now remember, we shake horizontally, kind of like that. So you're doing 2 things. You're chilling and you're mixing the liquids. We've got our champagne flute. We want to go about 15 seconds. Anybody counting? 14, 15. I usually go till the chillness hurts my hands. Then we pour that into our champagne flute. Now, we want to top this off with get the effervescence. We're going to use Casa Luigi Prosecco. It's Italian, it's dry, and it's a smaller size. And for those of you who are not making a lot of drinks, for those of you who are drinking alone, and who isn't these days, this is a good size rather than opening a whole bottle. Then you take and just pour slowly. That's actually a little too fast, but then we've got the nice effervescence. It mixes just a little bit, and then you get to taste your Scottail.
Yes!
Oh, that is wonderful. Oh, sorry. Pinky out. Also, you shouldn't be touching the glass. You should be touching the stem, because the fingers heat up the drink, and you don't want that. That is great. You've got, the Prosecco, which is sweet on top, with the apricot, with the elderflower. Just a wonderful, wonderful drink. It was reported in 1996 by the Hampshire Chronicle that a new breed of tourists were coming to Chawton. Now that's where the family home of the Austens were. And these tourists were arriving, clutching their copies of Sense and Sensibility, hoping to get an autograph by Jane Austen. Some even asked if she was in the pub across the street, and then shocked to find out she's been dead over 180 years.
Aww.
During my research for this project, I discovered a Jane Austen drinking game, which goes right along with Scottails. Probably not a good idea if you're reading, but if you're watching the movies, you can take a drink when you see a low dowry or unrequited love. It might be a lot of fun. George Wickham said to Mr. Darcy, You seem to be so level-headed. How do you keep your cool? Mr. Darcy said, well, I never argue with fools. They're generally thick-headed, and I just agree with them, saying, yes, you're probably right. Wickham says, well, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. And Darcy said, yes, you're probably right. Now, Mr. Darcy and his best friend Charles Bingley were staggering down the street home from the pub when the constable stops them and says, have you two been out drinking? To which Bingley replies, sir, we are grown adults. We've been out drinking many times. And that brings us to our next Scottail, the Cherry Bingley, named after Charles Bingley. It is a cocktail that I've tried, and it's very different. It takes 1.5 ounces of cachaca. Now, this is a Brazilian sugarcane-based drink, but it's not a rum, and they don't like you saying it's a rum. We'll go 1.5 cachaca. It's got a mustier flavor than rum, my opinion, but still very delicious. Then 1.5 ounces of cherry liqueur. We are using this maraschino cherry liqueur from Luxardo, and they are the Italian family that's been popular with cherries for a long time. So 1.5 ounces of that. That's the sweetness. It's a sweet treat. Then we use 1/2 ounce of fresh squeezed lime juice. I have squeezed this before the show, and 1/2 ounce we go. So we're going to take our fresh ice with our fresh hands, and we're going to shake it again for how long? 15 seconds about. Now, we're also going to garnish this with a lime wedge and some Luxardo cherries, just to make things even more delicious. We take a highball glass with ice in it. 15, 16, 17. This is so exciting. And we pour in our elixir. Then I just made some club soda with my club soda making machine. We top it with club soda, just a splash, and then our garnish. I made a little wheel because I think it's fun, and then it floats right to the bottom. Cheers! This is the Cherry Bingley.
Yes!
Oh, nice. It is sweet, but it's also a little bit tart. I just think you'll love it to death. Now, Jane Austen once said, but for my part, if a book is well written, I'll always find it too short. Well, it's the same thing with Scottails. A well-made Scottail. Cheers. And remember to drink up, because it's almost closing time somewhere.